have the grid for you for our second race for the Britcar Trophy. Grid amended to reflect the amended results of race number 1. A couple of cars having withdrawn as a result of problems there. In pole position, it will be the number 40 car, the winner of race number 1 earlier on. It'll be Jasvir Sapra who starts the car this time, handing over to Brian Bransom, who we saw in the previous race. And alongside him will be number 74. The Ginetta will be started by Owen Hizzy. Usually what happens is the drivers swap over. The drivers that started in race 1 go second in race 2. Second row of the grid, number 24. That's the Ginetta started by Ian Astley. Neil Wallace will take over. And alongside them will be the Mac G Racing number 33 Mazda RX-8. That will be started by Josh Tomlinson this time. On row 3, number treble 1, Axel van Nederveen in the Ginetta, alongside the number 79, the Veluga BMW. Charlie Hollings will be started this time, so that car will be rapid in the early stages. Row 4, number 55, which is James Alford in his Golf, alongside the 35 Golf, the Chandler Motorsport car. Reese Hurd will take the starts. On the 5th row, number 69, which is the black and Meakin Renault Clio. Jack Meakin will start, alongside the TSR Golf, number 77, started by Anthony Rogers. Row 6 is the number 11 Motor Swan Clio, Richard Ashmole, alongside number 777, which is Daniel Truman starting. Row 7, the number 81 BMW of Callum Bates, alongside the 555 Clio, that's Charlie Hand, hoping for a better race this time. Row 8 is number 41 Clio, Giles Billingsley takes the start in that one, alongside number 72 Chris Murphy's BMW Z4. Row 9, the number 13 car. Number 13 car is the Renault Clio of Steve O'Brien and Darren Gerhardt. It's Darren Gerhardt starting that car this time. 64 is Paul Goodlad in the VW Scirocco run by J.W. Bird. Then on the 10th row, the first of the Ginettas, number 44 Peter Dilnot alongside 91 Julian Daniel. This is the G40 Cup Ginettas, of course. The 36 car is started by John Wood, 31 by Tony Whitney. The 59 car next is Andy Hall. Then we've got the number 3 Race Lab BMW. That's starting towards the back with this grid, I think, based on the results of race number 1. Number 3 is started by Jagjit Verdi. 78 is next, that's Rob Morgan's Ginetta. 88 is next, that's the Seat Cupra with Dave Beecroft taking the starts. Row 14, the number 70 Team Brits BMW, that started this time by James Whitley. 179 is the BMW started by Nigel Greensall, so that should fly up the order in the early stages if it's out there. Row 15, number 76, which is William Lynch's BMW, in and out of the pits in race 1. Number 19, the Thorny Motorsport BMW of Callum Noble. I don't think that will be there. That blew its engine in the first race. And the final row, Scott Simon with the Renault Clio number 4. And the 89 Clio, that car didn't start the first race. High Row Motorsport, James Harrison should be taking the start in that one. Joe Harrison taking over. Hopefully that car will be there. We should see 32 cars. It's this grid based on the results of the first race. It's a 50-minute race with the mandatory pit stop. The pit window is split into groups A and B, as we saw earlier. A couple of cars fell foul of that, including the car that took the flag on the road, number 47, Niall Bradley. Car 47 was excluded from the result. It got a penalty for that pit stop infringement and then was excluded for that technical infringement involving some of the documentation for the car, as Niall explained earlier. He's not out there in this one. So Jazz Sapra and Brian Bransom will start as the favourites here. No time for Brian Bransom to recover from that BMW race that we've just seen. There's the Ginetta, the inside of the second row. That's Ian Astley taking the start this time in the purple and white car. Owen Hizzy's there. A lot of the more pro drivers starting this one. Nigel Greensall is there, the yellow 179 BMW, so they've repaired the problems there. That car should fly up the order in the early stages. We've already mentioned Nigel's vast experience in just about every form of circuit racing going. I think he's done everything except BTCC over the years. There's the front row. There is Jasvir Sapra alongside Owen Hizzy in the Mark Legionetta. That is some front row. We are rolling starts, 50 minutes with a mandatory pit stop. Pit window opens 20 minutes into the race, and the top 3 cars in each category, each class, have success penalties to carry over. Let's have a look at those success penalties then, which cars have them. Jazz Sapra and Brian Bransom have a 15-second penalty to serve at their pit stop. So do Charlie Hollings and Justin Dodge, they won their class. So does James Alford in the Golf. So does Peter Dilnotz, and also James Black and Jack Meakin. 10-second penalties for Mark Lee and Owen Hizzy, for Reese Hurd and Harry Yardley-Rose, for Paul Goodlad, for Julian Daniel, and for Richard Ashmole. 5-second penalties for Neil Wallace and Ian Astley, for James Whitley and Chris Overend, for Anthony Rogers and Rob Taylor, for John Wood and Stephen Moore in the Ginetta, and for Charlie Hand. Those are the cars with success penalties for finishing in the top 3 of their classes in race 1. Jeanette Stevenson says, come on Richard Ashmole, let's have a P1 in the Clio. Leslie Holdway says, go Jack Meakin and James Black. We've got some supporters for our Clio class in the comments on YouTube. Thanks for all your comments. Okay, 50 minutes on the clock then. Let's hope everybody's got away this time on the rolling start. We didn't see much of the 79 car in race 1. We will with Charlie Hollings on board, sharing with Justin Dodge. There's Charlie Hand in Nemo, his Renault Clio. There's the number 3 BMW with Jagjit Verdi on board, plagued with problems in race 1. Are we missing anybody from the back? Scott Simon is there with his Clio, dropped out of race 1 early. I didn't see the number 89 car. I think that car must have had a problem in qualifying. The number 19 BMW Callum Noble is not there, of course. That blew its engine spectacularly in race 1. I don't think I saw William Lynch's black BMW. No, that's not there. Nigel Greensall's car is there. The number 70 Team Brit BMW is there. We're missing a couple more cars, aren't we? Yeah, the Seat Leon is not there, of Dave Beecroft. I think everybody else is there. It's our poleman Jasvir Sapra, the man from Kenilworth in Warwickshire. Racing BMWs for many years now. This is going to be a good. Keep an eye on that BMW coming through. Ex-Ginetta racers Jagjit Verdi and Sonny Gill. Owen Hizzy should be in contention right from the start. There's Charlie Hollings and the Golfs. Then the first of the Clios. Very distinctive, that car of Jack Meakin. Charlie Hand looking to bounce back. He's only got the 5-second penalty at his pit stop, remember. I'm looking forward to this. Race 2 for the Britcar Trophy. BMWs, Golfs, Clios, Ginettas. Got the Mazda RX-8 in there. Volkswagen Golfs and Scirocco's. G40s towards the back. A couple of quick cars starting further back on the grid after problems in race 1. Nigel Greensall going from the back. He won't stay there for long. This is going to be a good one. Okay, here we go. BMW versus Ginetta on the front row. The pace car pulling into pit lane. We are ready to rock and roll here at Snetterton with the second race for the Britcar Trophy. 50 minutes on the clock. Red lights on the gantry. Jazz Sapra and Owen Hizzy lead them up towards the start line. The red lights go out now and we're underway. Away they go down towards Riches for the first time. Is it going to be Owen Hizzy? No, it's Jazz Sapra, pulls across to try and take the line and takes the lead into the first corner ahead of Owen Hizzy. Third place, Ian Astley, and Axel van Nederveen's made a good start. He's up into fourth place. They head down towards the hairpin for the first time. Owen Hizzy attacking around the outside, but it's Jazz Sapra in the big BMW who holds the lead ahead of a trio of Ginettas behind. Hizzy, Astley and Axel van Nederveen in fourth place. The rest of the pack to stream their way through the hairpin behind. They head towards the left-hander at Palmer's, then along towards Agostini. Jazz Sapra holds the lead. Here comes Owen Hizzy having a look on the inside. He's going to have a look as they go into the left at Agostini. Nigel Greensall's already made up a few places. He's passed a swathe of Ginettas and one of the Clios there. Did Owen Hizzy get through? No, he didn't. Still Jazz Sapra who has the lead ahead of these three Ginettas lining up behind him. Remember, Sapra and Branson have got that 15-second penalty at their pit stop. Lee and Hizzy have got a 10-second penalty. Third place car of Wallace and Astley have got a 5-seconder. Axel van Nederveen has no penalty at all. Could he be in with a chance of victory here? Side by side, there's the 79. Now Charlie Hollings, I thought, would be up there with the lead. He hasn't made a good start at all, though. He's back there with the Billingsley Clio and one of the Golfs. That's a poor start for the 79 car. Swing their way through Nelson's for the first time. It's getting warmed up here. Long way to go yet. The first two pulling away slightly. Owen Hizzy is in attacking mode. He's having a look there, coming out of the bomb hole. Down towards the right-hander at Coram. He goes to the outside, trying to get the line for Murray's, but he's on the marbles there on the outside. He won't get up alongside Jazz Sapra as they head into the left at Murray's this time. Closing up as well, Ian Astley in the number 24 Ginetta. There's Van Nederveen in the plain white car. Owen Hizzy is really in attacking mode here. He's all over the back of Jazz Sapra. They complete lap number one. Over the line they go, less than half a second apart. BMW, then three Ginettas. It's Van Nederveen fourth. Tomlinson and McGregor in the Mazda are in fifth position. And James Alford's made a good start in the Class 3 Golf. He's up into sixth position. The Saxon Golf, the number 55. Seventh is the Clio of Meakin and Black. So there's been a bit of a shake-up in the midfield. Jack Meakin's going well. Then Reese Hurd is eighth in his Golf. Charlie Hand's up to ninth, and Richard Ashmole 10th overall. So Charlie Hollings has lost 5 places. Meanwhile, Nigel Greensall has gained 9. He's up into 16th place from the back of the grid. Watch that yellow BMW coming through. Queuing up behind Jasvir Sapra here. Owen Hizzy can't find a way round him in the Ginetta that led into the last corner of this corresponding race last year. Mark Lee was driving solo. He got past Ollie Rubin and Kevin Clark's BMW into the last corner, but then the BMW out-dragged him to the line and took the flag by about 0.02 of a second. Will we get a finish like that today? We'll wait and see. To the right of Williams. There's Josh Tomlinson, fifth in the Mazda. There's the Golf up in sixth and the Clio seventh. Then it's Reese Hurd's Golf, Charlie Hand, and Richard Ashmole in the Motus One Clio number 11. Charlie Hollings, the BMW M4 behind him. They start to sort themselves out. Here's Hizzy having another look. That's where he's stronger, coming out of the bomb hole. Up towards the right-hander at Coram. I wonder why I'm trying not to give. Will you stop being smutty in the comments on here? As all up over the grass there goes Owen Hizzy. Well, he made a mess of that and he's taken Sapra wide. And the number 24 of Ian Astley says, thank you very much, I'll go through and possibly take the lead. Yes, he has taken the lead. So Ian Astley leads, but Owen Hizzy trying an attack on the inside there at Murray's. He made a mess of it, went over the grass. He nearly T-boned Jazz Sapra, who's still second. Van Nederveen's now up to third. And Owen Hizzy tried to take, he was in second, went to take first, and he's come out fourth. Ball change at the front of the field then. Ian Astley leads in the number 24 Ginetta. We'll have a replay of that. Owen Hizzy went to the inside. He thought he could see a gap. Too late on the brakes. He went over the grass. Did he hit Jasvir Sapra? No. Sapra, I think, managed to slow up and avoid him there as Hizzy went over the grass on the outside, and Ian Astley said, "Thank you very much, I'll go through and take the lead." The BMW still there in second. I think there must be an electrical issue with some of the wiring that BMW, because every time he turns left, the headlight comes on. Ian Astley is pulling away here in the 24. We saw this car out in the Snetterton saloons. We saw Mark Lee and Owen Hizzy out in that session, treating it as a bit of a test session yesterday, the two Ginettas. Yeah, Sapra was out in that one as well. Now Owen Hizzy trying to chase down Axel van Nederveen for third place. Good dodge from Sapra, says one of our comments. It certainly was. No dodge is in the 79 BMW. He'll be taking over from Charlie Hollings, just in dodge. Through the bomb hole go the two Ginettas battling for third place. Let's have a look at the class leaders then. Astley and Wallace lead Class 1. Class 2 is being led by Hollins and Dodge. They're down in 12th place. Class 3 by James Alford. Cleo's by Meakin and Black. It's once again Peter Dillnott leading the Ginetta G40 class. Stewards have said no investigation necessary for the incident there at the end of the lap involving Owen Hizzy. And the wipers are going on Jasvir Sapra's car. Is it raining a bit again? There's Josh Tomlinson, 5th in the Mazda. And up to 6th is Jagjit Verdi. That BMW has come through quickly. He's gained 4 places on the last lap, and behind him is the BMW of James Whitley. He's gained 6 places on the last lap. They've absolutely flown through the order. Nigel Greensall gaining places as well. He's now up to 10th, behind the Golfs of Hurd, the Golf of Hurd and the Clio of Meakin. There they are. It's all chop and change in the midfield. Where's James Alford's Golf gone to? That's lost 8 places. Has he had a moment, sir? He's been shuffled back 8 places in the order. There's Jagjit Verdi. He's flown up the order from the back in the white car. Oh, there's some damage on the Clio there. Look at Jack Meakin's car. Now, who's he had contact with? Can't see any damage on the rear of any of these cars, but there's damage to the number 69 Clio there, front end. He was battling with James Alford. Has he hit the back of the Golf, I wonder, and that's why the Golf has lost ground? That's why there's been a fair bit of change in the midfield, I would think. Look at the way Nigel Greensall's going. A flash of flame from the exhaust there. He's on the tail of Reese Hurd in the Golf. There you see the front bumper hanging off the Clio. We need to see the 55 Golf to see if there's damage to the back of it, because I reckon those two may have had some contact. There's Charlie Hand. There's the Golf. No, it looks okay. As the 79 BMW makes up a place, Charlie Hollings passes Jack Meakin. Still leading the Clio class though, ahead of Charlie Hand, just behind him in Nemo, as we're calling it, the orange Clio. James Alford battling on behind them. Lead is 1.7 seconds for Astley ahead of Sapra. Sapra's just done a 2:06.392, fastest lap of the race for the BMW. Is that a bit of damage I see on the right front of the Golf? Yes, I think so. I wonder if they came together into the hairpin. There's the Golf chasing the Motor Swan Clio of number 11. That is Richard Ashmole. Nigel Greensall continues to climb. Yes, you can see the damage to the Golf there. We don't know for certain, but I wonder if those two cars that are coming together, maybe at the hairpin. There's Greensall. That flaming BMW. James Alford and Richard Ashmole getting a bit physical there into the hairpin. That Golf's already got a bit of superficial damage. Where is he in his class, James Alford? Second in Class 3, it's Priest Hurd who leads in the white Golf. Ashmole third in the Clios. There's the two other Clios ahead of him. It's Meakin in the slightly battered 69 car and Charlie Hand in second. 10 minutes of the race gone. 40 to go. It's Astley from Sapra, Van Nederveen, Hizzy is still fourth. Jagjit Verdi is now up into 5th place. car shared by Sonny Gill. They're 11 seconds off the 4 leaders. Top 4 covered by just over 4 seconds. Closing up now is the black Golf. That's the TSR car driven by Anthony Rogers. Here are some of the Ginetta G40s further back. They're being led by Peter Dilnot. Julian Daniel chased by Andy Ball. We concentrate on everybody all the way down the order as best we can. All deserving of a bit of coverage. This is some of the Ginettas, all run by SVG Motorsports. This is the battle for second place in the Ginettas. Peter Dilnot is out in front. He won the class in race 1. He's quite a way out in front of this lot. The tune of about 21 seconds, so Peter Dilnot is dominating this class. There's the second place man, number 31, that's driven by Tony Whitney. Jez Sussex will take over that cup. Lead gap is just under 2 seconds, and fastest lap of the race by Ian Astley, 2:05.564. Personal bests for all of the top cars last time through. Side by side there, 2 of the Ginettas. Andy Ball gets past Julian Daniel in the 91. A change for third. Owen Hizzy has got ahead of Axel van Nederveen in the battle of the Ginettas. How far behind Sapra are they? That far. Head up towards Hamilton. Still a few minutes before the pit window opens. Ian Astley continuously looking for the first win for the number 24 Ginetta G55 Academy car. Swing their way through Williams. Here's the battle of the Clios. We have a new leader in the Clios. It is Charlie Hand, the overall championship leader in the orange car. Jack Meakin's handling perhaps slightly compromised by that damaged bodywork. Richard Ashmole still third of the Clios. Is still led by, no, it's not led by Charlie Hollings anymore. It's the Team Brit BMW of James Whitley is up into 7th place. He leads Class 2 now. The Golf is heading back up onto the back of the Clios now. James Alford is fighting back alongside Jack Meakin there as they head down the Bentley Straight. The Golf's got more power in full ahead. Chase down Charlie Hand now, and the lead gap has come down. A new fastest lap of the race for Jasvir Sapra. That's why he's just in the 2:04.543. He's only a second behind Ian Astley now. Owen Hizzy is third, ahead of Axel van Nederveen there, well clear of the BMW of Verdi, but Verdi has just done a 2:05.537. There are the leaders. Verdi in 5th place. He's closing on the 2 Ginettas ahead of him. Could we see Jagjit Verdi into the top 3? He's lapping about 3 seconds faster than Van Nederveen. There are the leaders. Coming down towards the left with Agostini. In the background there is Hizzy ahead of Van Nederveen. Soon, if he keeps up his pace, Jagjit Verdi will be joining him. Into Hamilton, still Ian Astley who leads. Jasvir Sapra closing him down. They need to build up an advantage here. Jasvir Sapra, Brian Branson, they've got 15 seconds extra to serve at their pit stop. Ian Astley and Neil Wallace only 5 extra seconds for third in class earlier. This pairing have 10 extra seconds to serve. No penalty for Axel van Nederveen. Even how relatively close they are at the moment, they're only covered by less than 8 seconds. That could make the difference. I reckon Axel van Nederveen could be in with a chance here. 78 a bit slow off the corner there. That's the Ginetta of Rob Morgan. He's got the 68 car is up behind him. 59, sorry, of Andy Ball. 5.5 minutes till pit window opens. Charlie Hand under fire from James Alford. That's for 11th overall. That's because Jack Meakin has dropped back in the Clio now. Still going, yes, there he is. That front damage is slowing him a little, I think. 27 cars took the start. They're all still present and correct on track. Here comes Anthony Rogers in the black TSR Golf. He goes to the inside. Number take both of them in two bundles, or is he? No, Hand zips back around the outside. The two Golfs nose to tail. Charlie Hand, the reigning junior saloon car champion. Chased by Anthony Rogers. He'll hand over the Golf to Rob Taylor. Alford slightly battered, number 55 Golf in behind them. Nigel Greensall has just taken 7th from James of Whitley for Team Brit. The BMW Z4's in behind this group. It's Callum Bates. That, presumably, is part of Jack Meakin's Clio. Would imagine that's the front bumper that's fallen off as Paul Goodlad goes by in the Scirocco. There's our Ginetta G40 class leader we caught a glimpse of, Peter Dillnut, and here are the leaders, and Jasvir Sapra is almost right with Ian Astley now. Ian Astley is the quicker of the two drivers in that Ginetta, shared with Neil Wallace. Jasvir Sapra and Brian Branson, I would say, is about equal. We saw what Brian Branson could do in the Come Home BMW race. Axel van Nederveen monstering his way past some smaller Ginettas there as he chases Owen Hizzy. Remember, now Van Nederveen doesn't have an extra penalty. That could be his advantage here, and now the leaders are nose to tail. Wipers going on Sapra's car. Is he going to take the lead here from the 24? Runs a bit wide there, actually, coming out of the bomb hole. Message from race control, debris on track, turn 3. There go the leaders. Two cars with their headlights on as well. It's going to get a bit gloomy here at Snetterton. We'll have another race to go after this for the Hyundai Coupe Cup. Over the line, 33 minutes of this 50-minute race to go. Sapra getting ever closer. He's only half a second back now. Lap time's almost identical. Has Jadjik Verdi caught Axel van Nederveen yet? Just over 4.5 seconds back. His last lap he took another 2 seconds out of him. So the white number 3 BMW is on the move. It's almost, I think, with Axel van Nederveen now. There's the debris on track that race control were warning about. I wonder if that's more bits of the 69 Clio. Still going, the Clio. Lost the class lead, though, to Charlie Hand. There go the leads. 3 or 4 car lengths apart. Two minutes to pit window. See who's going to be the first to come in this time. Here's a battle of the G40s. Andy Ball giving chase to Rob Morgan. Julian Daniel behind them. Very evenly matched, the Ginettas. Behind them, the 36 there of John Wood, I think. Here's the battle of the Golfs. Anthony Rogers ahead of James Alford. That's for 11th overall. The second in Class 3, which is being led by Reese Hurd in his Golf, the Chandler Motorsports example. There he is. White Golf leads it. And here are the Clios. Charlie Hand still holding off Jack Meakin in his Clio Superleggera. Look at the state of that. Front bodywork's completely got the headlights hanging off. Good job this isn't a night race. Everybody is still going. Ginetta's at the back of the field. The gap still half a second. Jasvir Sapra looking to retake the lead. Just come across the line, lapping in the 2:07s. How far back is Owen Hizzy now? Just under 5 seconds off. Then Van Nederveen. He's 4 seconds away from Lee now. And then Jadjik Verdi a similar distance back. Nigel Greensall ahead of Josh Tomlinson there. Greensall's progress stalled briefly, but he's now got ahead of the Mazda. How is Greensall lapping compared to those up ahead? His last lap was a 2:10 because he was dealing with back markers. There is the BMW. Not the E36 shape of M3. It's ahead of Josh Tomlinson. Johnny McGregor, the team boss, will take over the Mazda. I think the pit window is about to open. There are the two leaders, still nose to tail. pit window opens now for Group A, so half the cars can come in. They stagger the pit window to avoid too much congestion in the pit lane and risk of any cars knocking into each other. Leaders coming up to lap the G40 class leader, Peter Dillnuts. He's had a good day, dominating his class. Blue flag is shown to him to warn him that the leaders are behind him. Keeps over to the right. Good driving, Peter. Through they go. Leaders through Nelson's. Still one or two umbrellas up around the circuit. Is certainly a bit damp out there. YouTube chat has gone from talk about Pragas to a non-stop stream of double entendres. Meantime, out of the final corner, up across the line, this is Jasbir Sapra's opportunity. He's going through, he's done it. Sapra takes the lead. Down the outside, almost on the run up to Ridges there. And Owen Hizzy's not far away either. There's the Ginetta. There is Van Nederveen. Now, how close behind him is Jagjit Verdi? We just caught a glimpse of him there. Is Ian Astley going to fight back here at the inside? No, he goes to the outside at the hairpin. Jas Sapra covers the inside. He's got the lead in the BMW. Side by side, absolutely over the line there. Is it going to be a hat-trick for... And the leader of the Ginetta G40s is our first stopper. Pit window open. Peter Dillnuts is first to come in. And a healthy advantage in his class. There's more cars coming in behind him. I think they're all Ginetta G40s coming in behind him there. 1, 2, 3 of them. And the Team Brit BMW has come in as well. Busy time for SVG Motorsports. Charlie Hollings has come in as well. I'll hand over to Justin Dodge. The Class 3 leading Golf came in as well. That's the car of Hurd and Yardley Rose. Harry Yardley Rose will take over. James Alford's in as well. There's the BMW. James Alford will come in. He might have that front bumper taken back together. Out gets Charlie Huck. Don't forget your handbrake. We have the staggered pit window to stop cars colliding in the pit lane. We nearly had one rolling back into the pit lane there. Fair play to the mechanics. There go the leaders. Now I think the Class 1 cars have the later pit window as we saw earlier on. Harry Yardley Rose taking over the Golf, the 35 car. A few of the Ginetta G40s in. Ten laps completed by our leaders. There's Jagjit Verdi catching Axel Van Nederveen slowly but surely. And the leader has pulled out a 1 second gap. Sapra ahead of Astley. Through goes Van Nederveen behind Owen Hizzy, but the gap has come down there. About 7 seconds behind him. Owen Hizzy is closed to within 3 seconds of Ian Astley now. Leaders battling each other. Owen Hizzy is able to close. Van Nederveen's got that advantage of no pit penalty. There's Jagjit Verdi. Now this car has got no pit penalty either. The Class 1 number 3 BMW, because they had problems in race 1. Finished towards the back. Sharing with Sonny Gill. We know what Sonny Gill can do, the ex-Kumho BMW Series champion a couple of years ago. Could that 3 car be in contention for it? Plenty of factors could yet throw it wide open. We could have a safety car. We'll wait and see. Yes, Verdi has now almost caught Axel Van Nederveen. Here come the leaders. Through Williams. Down the back straights. Anthony Rogers has come in with his Golf. Rob Taylor will take over. He was leading Class 3. Back out comes the Beluga BMW. And yes, James Alford's Golf with his front end taped together. I think you'll need more than tape to put the front of Jack Meakin's Clio right. He's got Charlie Hand on his tail. and was the last to stop in race 1. He goes for the inside on the hairpin. The BMW is out wide as well, nearly 3 wide through Wilson's hairpin. You don't see that very often. The BMW stays ahead. That's now got Chris Overend on board. More Ginettas in the pits. Paul Goodlad's VW Scirocco as well. There's the white number 35 Golf. Harry Yardley Wood now on board. Yardley Rose even. Side by side between the Clios, and back up the inside the 69 car. Great fight between the two Clios here, and now the number 11 of Richard Ashmole's getting involved as well. These cars have yet to stop. The 69 of Jack Meakin still has the lead. I imagine these three will all pit together. Okay, the second group can now make their stops. So we'll probably see the leaders come in shortly. Depends how long Jasvier Sapra wants to stay in his BMW. Astley and Wallace. I would imagine Ian Astley will stay in the Ginetta longer because he's the quicker of the two drivers. Likewise Owen Hizzy with Mark Lee. Owen Hizzy, the pro driver, if you like. I can tell you Jagjit Verdi has got the BMW through into 4th place ahead of Axel van Nederveen. Josh Tomlinson has pitted to hand over the Mazda to Johnny Mack. Johnny McGregor. Probably see a fair few cars come in this time. Chris Murphy and Callum Bates are in with their BMWs. Still the Ginettas, a couple of the Ginettas in pit lane. Lifting a wheel there, Charlie Hand. There's the fight for 4th with Jagjit Verdi from the back of the grid up into 4th place now. Who's going to be the first of the front runners to make a stop though? Verdi ran wide there through Williams. Lapping Darren Gerhardt's Clio, number 13. Jack Meakin has come in from the lead of the Clios. Are the other Clio leaders in as well? No, they're not. There is the number 69 car, or what's left of it. Removes the loose headlight there, I think. Or are they taping it back into place? I think you'll need more than gaffer tape to put that right. Just checking there's nothing going to fall out there, I think. Jack Meakin gets out, James Black will take over. I think the leader has come in, yes he has. Jasvier Sapra has come in, so there's your leader, Ian Astley, and Owen Hizzy has almost caught him, look. Two Ginettas only 2 seconds apart now as they go over the line. Oh, and off goes, is that Hizzy? Yes it is. Owen Hizzy's off. Goodness me, he's right the way off. Owen Hizzy plunges off into the field next to the circuit. Where's he gone? There he is. He's going to get a free car wash from that sprinkler if he goes any further. Now, there's steam coming off the car. That, to me, looked like something broke. He's right off in the field there. Have a look again. Let's see what happened. He's gone wide there. He didn't take the inside line for the corner at all. I'm wondering if something broke there. And he goes right off into the field. I remember in his Formula 3 days, a certain Mark Webber went into that field once when he lost his front wing. And it was fairly tall stalks of corn in that field then, and the car just disappeared. I don't think the farmer's going to be very happy. Owen Hizzy, is he running for a fire extinguisher there? The marshal, keep an eye on what's happening there. Well, we'll pick that up in a moment because Sapra's in, Verdi's in, hand over to Sonny Gill. Van Nederveen came in at the same time. Nigel Greensall has come in, hand over to David Gooding. Scott Simon's Clio pitted from just outside the top 10. He started last on the grid. So I think nearly everybody has now made their pit stop except for Ian Astley. Yes, they were running for a fire extinguisher. I think Owen Hizzy spotted a fire under the bonnet of the Ginetta. Did the engine let go and he went off on his own oil, perhaps? But that car is out of the race. Just reposition the sprinkler. Haven't put any flames out. I jest, of course. Thankfully the fire marshals are there. Couldn't go racing without our orange family. Ian Astley has come in to hand over to Neil Wallace. I think that's everybody has come in now. The only other car that hadn't was the Billingsley family Clio. No, that has come in. So here's a battle of the Golfs. This, I think, is the battle for the lead in Class 3. Yes, it is, and BMW Z4 getting involved as well, Callum Bates. This is the battle for the Class 3 lead, which Harry Yardley Rose has just taken. You can see a little bit of gleam on the track there at Williams in the headlights there, so there is a little bit of rain coming down. But I think everyone has now made their stops, as we said. So we've got to wait for everything to cycle through now. We can shortly head down to Ewan in the pits as well to hear from some of our drivers. And he's down in the pits for the erstwhile race leading car, the number 40 BMW. Ewan is down there talking to Jazz Sapra.
Cheers, Dave, here with Jazz Sapra. Great start to your race.
Yeah, it was all good, mate. Yeah.
I mean, eventful.
Eventful up to turn one there. I think, Hizzy, was it? I think he overshot it, didn't he? And I did see him overshoot, so I backed it up. Otherwise, if I turned in, it would have been a big crash. So I let that.
But you fought your way back through.
Yeah, then I had to get back through then, yeah, because
I think Owen's Izzy's just gone for a drive into the field as well, actually.
I think he's over pushing it. Yeah, he's over pushing it, mate. But that would have been a big one there, I think.
Can Brian bring it home?
Yeah, he'll bring it home, mate. I've told him, we should bring it home, mate.
Best of luck.
Okay, thank you very much.
Dave, back up to you.
There's Jazz Sapra, a busy day. Looking for his second win here. He's on a hat-trick, Jazz Sapra, because he won the Snetterton Saloons race in this car yesterday. Brian Bransom now at the wheel. You've seen what he can do in the Kumho BMW race earlier on. There's a cloud of smoke there. Who's that coming through Coram? Is that Sonny Gill's BMW? Yes, it is. Oh, what a shame. That car had come through from last to fourth. Sonny Gill in a cloud of smoke. Hopefully he'll make it into the pits and not drop any fluid on the circuit. Oh, what a disappointment. We can head back down into the pits. Meanwhile, there's bits of falling off that car underneath. You can see there as it makes it into the pits. That's race over. We can head down into the pit lane though shortly. Ewan is back down there. He's talking to Clio driver Jack Meakin.
Cheers, Dave, here with Jack Meakin. Great start there.
Yeah, not too bad. We picked up a little bit of damage, which wasn't really ideal, but the car seems okay now. It doesn't look okay, but
it wasn't a little bit of damage.
Yeah, we lost a bumper, but no, it was a good fight. Not really ideal from the whole team's point of view, but I mean, we're going to try our best to just keep
how much time does that lose you, if anything?
I think for those couple of laps where the bumper was hanging off, I definitely noticed a lot of understeer there, so I was probably losing over a second a lap just because of that. But now the car seems okay after the bumpers come off.
And Charlie pushing you really hard there, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was a little bit of a dogfight between me and Charlie, but a really good close battle, and I really enjoyed it.
Well, mate, you hand it over to James. Do you think he can do it?
Yeah, I think he's got it in him. He's a good driver, James, so yeah.
Great stint, mate, well done.
Perfect, thank you very much.
Dave, back up to you, buddy.
Yes, thanks very much. And there is Neil Wallace back in the race, but just behind Neil, we could see there, Axel van Nederveen is ahead of Brian Bransom. So Van Nederveen, no pit penalty, is ahead of the erstwhile race leader. So yes, it's working in Van Nederveen's favour. Let's see where Neil Wallace slots back in. I think he's still got the lead. Yes, there is the number 24 Ginetta. He's ahead of the other two. Let's see what the gap is as he comes through over the line to complete lap number 15. I think there is rain coming down because the lap speeds have dropped considerably. There goes Neil Wallace. He's out lap completed. He's 6.5 seconds ahead of Axel van Nederveen, and he's got Brian Bransom on his tail. Let's see what happens to Brian Bransom here. He's still behind Van Nederveen at the moment. So there's your top three. Your leader is Neil Wallace, but we know he's not quite as quick as Ian Astley. How long will that Ginetta hang on in front? Just over 15 minutes of the race to go. Everybody's done their pit stops. Here's the battle of the Golfs. 77 of Rob Taylor has got James Alford on his tail. That's for third in Class 3. Class 3 is being led by Harry Yardley-Rose, the 35 got, which is in a brilliant 5th overall. Right, let's take stock, while we have a moment, of the top 10. It's Astley and Wallace leading in the Ginetta by 6.5 seconds ahead of Axel van Nederveen. Third place is Brian Bransom in Jasper Sapra's car, and fourth is the car we just saw, the yellow BMW of Greensall and Gooding. Fifth place is this car, the number 35 of Hurd and Yardley-Rose. The oil flag is out there because of that blow-up for Sonny Gill's BMW. Sixth is the number 81 of Callum Bates. He's going well. The BMW Z4 up in 6th place. That's brilliant. There is the Team Brits BMW. That's in 7th place with Chris Overend at the wheel. 8th behind them is the 77, the Black Golf. 9th is number 11, Richard Ashmole, and he's leading the Clio class. So Ashmole is your leading Clio. 10th is 55 of James Alford. Behind them, Scott Simon, he's running well. Then it's Meakin and Black, and behind him is behind James Black is Charlie Ham. The order changing slightly as a result of cars completing their outlaps. There goes James Black in what's left of his Clio. The other headlights flapping about now. Well, Richard Ashmole is leading the Clio class, number 11, in 8th overall. The G40 class is still Peter Dillnott, he's in 19th overall. Class 3 is that white Golf, 5th overall. Class 2 is the Team Brit BMW, he's behind him there. He's just got ahead of Callum Bates into 6th position. You can see the surface of the track gleaming, the rain is coming down. There's a telehandler on the move in the background, presumably that's going to harvest that Ginetta from the farmer's field. And you can see how squirrely the rear-wheel drive cars are getting. That's David Gooding in the BMW started by Nigel Greensall. He's 4th, but the lap times have tumbled. The fastest lap of the race is 2 minutes 4 seconds, 0.543 for Jazz Sapra. And look at this, 3 cars line astern now for the lead of the race. We pick up the leaders. It's Neil Wallace under pressure from Axel van Nederveen, who's used the pit stop to score, but he's got the BMW on his tail. He's sliding there. I thought there was contact, but no, it was just the slippery surface. As Van Nederveen got sideways, he spun there in race 1. Third behind them is Brian Bransom in Sapra's car. Your leader is Neil Wallace. Can the 24 car hang on in front? They've got still 12.5 minutes to go. I think he's pulling away a bit there. Round onto the back straights. We've got Chris Murphy's BMW ahead of them. They come down the straights. We've got a tense ending to this race, to say the least here. 3 cars line astern for the lead. And now you see how the pit stop penalties equal things up. Because Van Nederveen's been able to gain. The 24 car had a 5-second penalty, the BMW a 15-second penalty. It's Greensall and Gooding in 4th place, but they're a full minute behind these 3. The other cars on the lead lap is Hurd and Yardley-Rose. Callum Bates is doing brilliantly. He's just lost out to Chris Overend in the Team Brits BMW. And Richard Ashmole looking for his first ever Clio class win. There go the leaders. Coming up to lap Chris Murphy. There's Peter Dillnott, he's still leading his class. Jasmine Sapra has a look up the inside. He's attacking Axel van Nederveen, who closes the door. We've got 1 car under investigation for speeding in the pit lane, number 81. Oh, that's Callum Bates. The BMW Z4 under investigation for potentially speeding in the pit lane. Here come the leaders. Oh, and van Nederveen's had to go wide. Chris Murphy's there in the Z4. They're trying to lap the ex-Aston Martin racer, and they're side by side there. They're 3 wide going into Palmer's, and van Nederveen could take the lead here. They're going to come out, has he got it? No, Neil Wallace still leads as they come up towards Agostini. Look out, Peter Dillnott, you've got the 3 leaders behind you. To the inside they go. Neil Wallace takes the tighter line. I think Van Nederveen's a bit preoccupied with Brian Bransom in his mirrors. Now he attacks, they pull out to pass Peter Dillnott there. Again, no, Neil Wallace, this is a great defensive drive by Neil Wallace, but he's got nearly over 10 minutes to hang on. Van Nederveen to the inside into Oggy, surely he's going through this time. up the inside, he's got him. Axel van Nederveen takes the lead in the 111 Ginetta. And here comes Brian Branson, he's through to second. Well, Neil Wallace, a brave effort to try and hang on to the lead. He's not quite as quick as his driving partner Ian Astley. He's down to third place. That was a great defensive effort to try and hang on. We've got a spinner in the background. It's one of the Ginetta G40s that spun coming out of Agostini. Just caught a glimpse of there, didn't see which one it was. So Axel van Nederveen, the Dutchman in the Dayton Motorsports Ginetta, leads the way. Advantage of having no pit stop penalty. These three are a full minute ahead of David Gooding's yellow BMW in fourth place. Rounding out the top five, we have got Harry Yardley-Rose in the white Golf, still leading Class 3. Brian Branson will chase hard. This race isn't over yet. Can they overcome the pit penalty? Can Brian Branson win this, take a double for the BMW and give Jasmine Sapper a hat-trick for the weekend? Side by side, he's up on the outside. Looks like the driver's side window's coming loose in the number 40 car. Still a bit of rain coming down as they go up towards Wilson's hairpin. BMW goes out wide. James Black in the 69 Clio ahead of them. And now this is Axel van Nederveen who's going to have to defend for his life here. Swing their way through the left of Palmer's. Back marker traffic ahead once they've got past this Clio. They run over the debris there. Now it's there, the flags have been out. Past the Clio. Neil Wallace dropping back now into third place. Just between these two up front, you can see them sliding about there on the curbs. Just a couple of cars no longer running. We saw, oh, and the Ginetta's run wide coming out of Hamilton's, and Brian Branson goes through. Axel van Nederveen, that's only just past the point where he spun in race one. He'll be turning the air blue in that white Ginetta at the moment. It's the BMW in front once again. They've made up their success penalty. Brian Branson leads. Can Axel van Nederveen close back up? I was just about to say, we've lost a couple of cars. We know Owen Hizzy and Mark Lee are out. We saw Sonny Gill's engine let go in the BMW. We've also lost the Mazda, I think as well, the Mazda RX-8. That's been in the pits for a few laps. Branson a bit wide there, coming out of the bomb hole. Car number 69 is under investigation for a short pit stop as the Ginetta goes off again. Must be getting more and more slippery out there. Oh, there's a spinner. That's Peter Dillnuts. He was leading the G40 class. He's spun at Nelson's. It is getting worse out there now. We were just about to say car 69, the Clio, is under investigation for a short pit stop. Let's have a look again at a couple of those spins if we can. Here's what happened to Peter Dillnuts in the number 44 Ginetta. This will tell you how slippery it is down at Nelson's. Back end just breaks away. Round he goes. 79 BMW is fairly close to him there as well. Justin Dodge living up to his name then. Bit of tussling here between the two Ginettas, and Julian Daniel leans on the number 31. Get off, says Jeremy Sussex. They're fighting for what position are they in the Ginetta class? This is for second in class. So if they catch Peter Dillnuts up after that spin, I think there might be a lap behind him actually. Oh, he's all over the place. It's getting really slippery out there now. Here's what happened to Axel van Nederveen. See no grip coming into Coram. Off he goes onto the grass for the second time. It's going to be a battle for survival over these last 6 minutes or so. You can see the cars slowing right down. There's another one gone. It is getting treacherous out there now. The 59 of Andy Ball goes around. If the rain gets any worse, I wouldn't be surprised if we see this race flagged a few minutes early, because it is starting to get dangerous now, especially for the rear-wheel drive cars. There's one of them, David Gooding. Now the leader's lapping about 10 seconds off his earlier pace now. They're just tiptoeing their way around. There's another one gone, that's the 78 we just saw have a spin there. That's Rob Morgan's Ginetta. James Alford sliding about in the Golf. Yeah, this is getting pretty dangerous now as the rain starts to intensify. Great shame at the end of what's been a great race for the Britcar Trophy. There's Charlie Hand having a go at Callum Bates in the number 81. Here's another replay, we just caught a glimpse of this. This is Rob Morgan, tries to put the power on, but the back just comes round on him at Riches. We've got Ginetta G40s spinning everywhere. And they're relatively new drivers to the sport as well in the G40s. 4.5 minutes of the race left. Here's a pack involving Callum Bates, Charlie Hand in the Clio. I think he's taken the lead of the Clio class, possibly. Yes, he has. He's up to 7th overall now. He's got ahead of Richard Ashmole, who's behind him. He's fighting back there into the hairpin, Richard Ashmole. Battling with Callum Bates, who's having continuing his good run in the BMW Z4. Car number 69, the Clio of James Black, has got a stop-go penalty for a short pit stop, so he'll have to serve a stop-go. Failing that, time will be added on at the end of the race. See, they're just tiptoeing their way around now. 78's off again, that's Rob Morgan. Paul Goodlad behind him in the VW Scirocco. Here's a replay of our Ginetta battlers. Oh, there's contact there. Oh dear. Get out of my way, says number 31 of Jeremy Sussex, with number 91 Julian Daniel. I don't think that was intentional. Look at the state of the 31 car, it's come off worse than that. They managed to keep going though. And there they are, together down towards the first corner. How can Jeremy Sussex see where he's going? Look at the state of that. Oh, and is that the 91 car just disappeared off to the left? He's taken Owen Hizzy's route. He's over there somewhere, I think. Yeah, here's that incident again down at Nelson's. No grip, wallop, straight into the back of him. More bodywork for our marshals to pick up. They've certainly earned their keep this weekend, the Orange family. Fair play to them. A couple of minutes to go now. It's going to be a double win for the BMW of Sapra and Branson. Jasvir Sapra is on a hat-trick. He's in the middle of this group, lapping them somewhere. There he is. Brian Branson in the green BMW. Another, that's Rob Morgan again. He's all over the place, that Ginetta. He is a newcomer to racing this year, Rob. He's trying his hardest. Stop-go penalty board is held out. That's the number 69 Clio. If they don't have time to serve it, then it will be added on at the end of the race. Another Ginetta's gone, the 36 this time, with Stephen Moore on board. See what he did, this is at the hairpin. The rear-wheel drive car, as soon as you try to put the power down, it just breaks away. Well, Sapra and Branson are leading by 10 seconds now, ahead of Axel van Nederveen. Astley and Wallace are still third. Pick up the class winners in the closing stages. Charlie Hand, I can tell you, there he is, he's leading the Clios. Hurd and Yardley Rose still in a brilliant 5th in the Golf. James Alford was 6th, but now Charlie Hand's got past him. And the leader's weaving his way through these. See, as he hits the brakes there, the car slides away from him, and he's treacherous out there. 1 minute left, so I think it's last lap now. Brian Branson should see the checkered flag at this time. It's going to be a double for the BMW, owned by Jasvir Sapra. Class 2 is being led by Whitley and Overend, the Team Brits BMW. Class 3, we've mentioned the Golf. The Clio is Charlie Hand. And the G40s. Peter Dillnott, despite that spin, is still leading the class. Number 4, Scott Simon, he's having a good run. He's up to 2nd of the Clios now, I think. Yeah, he's ahead of his teammate Ashmole. throw their way home. Such a shame the rain arrived. See Brian Branson taking it very carefully there through. Nelson's going to be checkered flag this time. Well, no, there's a spinner ahead of him. That's Paul Goodlad in the Scirocco that's gone. That's at the exit of the bomb hole. Well, they had a 15-second success penalty from race 1, but they soon managed to overcome it. And the BMW is going to take its 3rd win of the weekend. Brian Branson bringing it home. Checkered flag will be awaiting them. He comes up over the centre straight, over the grid. There's the checkered flag. Brian Branson takes the number 40 BMW to the win, and it's a hat-trick for Jasvir Sapra. 2 wins in Britcar Trophy and 1 in the Snetterton Saloons. 3 wins for Jasvir Sapra. Well done to him. Rest of the pack comes home. Axel van Nederveen is 2nd, 13.8 seconds back. He's behind that Clio somewhere. 2nd for van Nederveen, and well done Neil Wallace and Ian Astley, a fine 3rd place. David Gooding bringing Nigel Greensall's car home should finish in 4th. Completing the top 5 is going to be Harry Yardley-Rose and Rhys Hurd. Their Golf an excellent fit. And there's the Charlie Hollings Justin Dodge BMW coming home. That car struggled a bit sadly. And here comes Charlie Hand, 6th overall, and he's going to win the Clio class. He should keep his overall championship lead. Well done to all the drivers there for coping brilliantly with the conditions. Here's Peter Dilnot. He's coming in to win the Ginetta G40 class. And he's over 30 seconds clear of Julian Daniel in 2nd place, who survived that tangle with the 31 Cup. And there is David Gooding, coping well to bring the BMW home, started by Nigel Greensall. But I think all the drivers deserve... Charlie Hunt nearly goes off there. All the drivers deserve an award for completing the race in those incredibly tricky conditions. Even the front-wheel drive car struggling with it. Waiting for the last few cars to come home. The 31 car makes it home. The incident between the Ginettas, 31 and 91, we're told is under investigation by the stewards. And fair play to Jeremy Sussex for getting home there. How he can see anything, I don't know. There's the Golf over in 5th place. Charlie Hand will keep his championship lead. Another Clio class win. We can give you the provisional results then. In just a moment. The win goes to Jasvir Sapra and Brian Branson. 2nd win for the BMW, a hat-trick for Jasvir Sapra, just under 14 seconds clear of Axel van Nederveen in the Ginetta in 2nd. Ian Astley and Neil Wallace 3rd in their Ginetta. Nigel Greensall and David Gooding take 4th. A class win for Class 3 for Hurd and Yardley-Rose in their Golf. The Clio class goes to Charlie Hand, last man on the lead lap in 6th. James Alford takes 7th ahead of Scott Simon. Well done to him from the back of the grid, taking 8th place. 9th position went to Rogers and Taylor in their Golf. And Richard Ashmole, a top 10 overall, 3rd in class. Chris Murphy was next in his BMW. 12th goes to Callum Bates. He got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane and drops to 12th place. The Class 2 winner, Whitley and Overend in their BMW for Team Brit in 13th. Then the Billingsleys, Meakin and Black were 15th. They got a penalty as well for a short pit stop. Behind them were Hollings and Dodge in the BMW M4. Then Paul Goodlad, 17th in the Scirocco. Darren Gerhardt's and Steve O'Brien's Clio. Peter Dilnot, the Ginetta G40 class winner, was 19th, ahead of Julian Daniel and the Whitney and Sussex, what was left of number 31, Ginetta 3rd in class. The 36 car pulled into the pits on the last lap, so we'll wait to see whether they'll be classified. It's the Wood and Moore Ginetta, then Rob Morgan and Andy Ball completing the finishers. We lost Hizzy and Lee as we saw Verdi and Gill, and also the Mazda RX-8 of Tomlinson and McGregor was a non-finisher. Well done to everyone for coping so well with the conditions. We'll hand down to Park Ferme with you in a few minutes' time.
Cheers, David. It's most definitely raining down here in Park Ferme, and the drivers are about to go to the podium. So just quickly with Jazz, 2 wins today. Great stuff.
Great win, yeah. Great start to the weekend. I had a win yesterday as well at Snetterton Saloons. That's 3 wins for me then. So yeah, I had a good weekend. Go back home with a smile.
And you set it up, Brian. You brought it home.
Yeah, got it home, mate. Had a couple to get past, second and P1 and P2 to get past, and then it started raining, and sort of levels things up, doesn't it?
You look delighted with the rain. That's not quite right, is it?
Nah.
Well, I do like the rain.
Especially on treads or slips.
Yeah, we love it.
Okay.
We love the rain.
Fantastic.
We were praying for rain, but it didn't happen.
I'll let you go and get your silverware. Congrats, guys.
Thank you very much.
No worries. I would love to speak to, now again, the drivers are making, I can see Axel in the distance going to get his trophy. Maybe if you stick with us, we'll try and get Charlie Hand. I can see his car up there. I'd also love to speak to Peter Dillon. 2 wins today in the Ginetta class in the car 44. If you spot it, give me a shout. But we'll try and make our way to Charlie's over here. There's his car at least. Anyway, the 555, the Finding Nemo livery to my right-hand side here. And he is super tall, Charlie. He should be so easy to spot out here. There he is on the right-hand side. You might want to go around the front there, Alan, maybe. I know you can hear me, so we'll crack on. Charlie, got the W in the end, mate.
Yes, it was a very interesting race to say the least. We started P3 in our class, got up to P2, then overtook Jack for P1. We had a good battle between us, overtaking, and then we come into the pits, and there was, I don't actually know what was wrong with the car, but there was something wrong with the brakes. So we were sat there probably 10 seconds longer than we actually needed to be. So I think I came out in P3 again, but obviously wet weather on these tyres, I'm used to it.
I think it was your brakes were absolutely smoking, a bit like you right now.
Yeah, I'm actually sweating. It's like a workout in there.
But fantastic weekend, yeah?
Yes, lovely. Good way to end the weekend.
Look forward to seeing you at the next round. Well done.
You too. See you later.